Hello YouTube. Good afternoon. Today is November 7, sorry. November 7, 2021. I'm going to share to you some ideas of alternative option or some reminders regarding bans on conduit because sometimes we forgot to review some codes regarding bends in a conduit because according to the Philippine Electrical Codes, even the NEC or National Electrical Code published by National Fire Protection Association, NFPA 70, uh, the code states that allowable bends in an electrical conduit per PEC, NEC, NFPA 70 code, the total the code limits, the code limits the total number of bends in one continuous run to 360 degrees or for 90 degrees or 90 degrees bend between pull points or junction box, pull box, or utility box. There should only be uh, 4 bends. That is the allowable bends in one continuous run of a conduit. Because if it is more than 4 bends, it will be difficult to insert the wire or even the fish tape or guide wire to pull the electrical wire from one point to the next point. Uh, here, here, this is our circle, no? We have 90 degrees first quarter. We have uh, 90 degrees second quarter, 90 degrees third quarter, and another 90 degrees fourth quarter. So total of 300, uh, 360, 360 degrees bends. More than more than 360 degrees, it will become difficult. Uh, it doesn't say that you are allowed, but there is still some uh, alternative or option. If your bench is 90 degrees and it's difficult and you have no other option but to increase the bench, then you have to decrease the angle of the bench to make it more easier because the more bench, the more friction, and the more friction, and it will become very difficult to pull the wire, especially if the wire inside the conduit is, let's say, it occupies more than 80% of the space, internal diameter of the pipe of the conduit. I have a sample here, a drawing. Okay, here is a slab on this side. This is a slab, and this junction box, and we have encountered the obstruction. Okay, it's an sample of an obstruction, whether it is large pipe or a beam. So we will be obliged to make a saddle. We have a 3-point saddle. But then, if you notice here, there's a bend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bends. But according to the code, electrical code, there should be 4 bends allowable. But it doesn't say that you are not allowed to make more than 4 bends. No? Because if your bends here, let's say 15 degrees, then it will be more easier to pull the wire. Okay? Say 45 degrees, 15 degrees, 15 degrees. You may make this 15 degrees, then it is more easier to pull the wire. We have here same scenario. Okay, this is same scenario. Same distance of the pull box of junction box. But you are utilizing 4-point saddle. Why not make it 3 points only? As I have said, the lesser bends, the lesser friction. This looks good, no? For bends. But you see, if you consider the bends here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 bends. Whereas in the law, in the electrical code, allowable bends is 4 bends or 360 degrees. Yes, you can make this lesser degrees on the bends. Let's say 15 degrees or 22.5 degrees. But then you still have more bends. Why not make it lesser bends? Why not make it 3-point saddle bends? You only have here 7 bends, whereas here you have 8 bends on the 4-point saddle. This is my suggestion only, so that your wire you can pass through easily, like this. That is your wire. Whereas here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bends. Supposed to be 4 bends only. But if you reduce the angle of the bends, it will be more easier to pass the uh, wire. For example, here, this is our conduit, no? Like that. Here. Sample of this is like this, no? One. Okay. Oh, sorry. Not good, not good. Sorry. Okay. If your bench is less, let's say it is only 10 degrees. Okay. The bench from here and here. Then it will be more easier to pull the wire or insert the wire. This is an offset bend. This is an offset bend. Usually connected on the utility box or junction box. This is more easier Because if you have here from this point A to point B, point A, point B, then from this side you have straight path. You can see like this, no? The conduit, you have a straight path here. It is more easier to pull the wire. Unlike like this one, um, where's my marker? Whereas your pipe is like this, eh, like that. No? Your conduit probably like this. No? Distance like this. You cannot see this point on this point, this one A, and this point B. If you look on this side, you cannot see this one. Unlike this one, if you look on this side, you can see on the other side. It will be like a total black mo. Totally black. More difficult to pull the wire or insert the wire. Another one, just a minute, I'm going to change the height of our here. Please bear with me. Here, same thing. We have here utility box or for the convenience outlet CO. Okay. But then see the angle. Even though if you are going to use long sweep elbow or long elbow like this, no, still you are still using 90-degree bends, and you have four bends. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, you follow the code, electrical code, but still difficult to insert the wire, especially if you have a long distance. Unless you are going to insert the guide wire every section of the conduit. Let's say from here, you inserted here from this point. You insert the wire first. Then connect the elbow, insert the wire. Then PVC pipe or conduit. After connecting the elbow, insert the wire. Then after that, connect the wire again until such time you reach the point A, point B. It will be more easier. But if you insert connected all fittings, let's say you connected all fittings without guide wire, uh, it will be difficult. It is easier to say it is easier on drawing only, but in actual it's quite difficult. I have suggestion here because here no four bends. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, you are following that electrical code. But then, is there any option to make it easier? There is. There is easier. I'll show you some drawing here. I prepared. Same distance, same convenience outlet. Here. See? Same distance, same height, but then the design. of the piping. You only have two bends, one and two. Point A, point B. Usually this is done in a convenience outlet or even on the, let's say, switches. You are going to utilize this kind of design. Yes, you can, but it will become harder to pull the wire. Whereas if you are going to use this kind of setting or layout of the conduit, then it will be more easier because you see you reduce the number of bends. You can insert the wire here or guide wire. Even the conduit are already connected on the utility box or pull box. Unlike this one, more difficult. But for those who are well experienced electrician, it's also easy because let's say you inserted your wire here or even guide wire, then you stuck up here because it bumps on this curve or elbow. Usually the wire is like this before they put it inside the guide wire. Okay, so they prepared another guide wire from this point with a hook also like this. So if they put inside like this, and then here there is a hook. Then once you pull here, then you are going to follow on this point. Feed here and then pull on this side. Feed on the point A and then pull on the point B. There are 90% you can retrieve the stuck up wire here or guide wire. I have done this many times and I believe many technicians or electricians well experienced, they have done this many times. But as I have said, we are going to utilize this. It's quite difficult. Whereas you can use this kind of design or layout much more easier. I hope you enjoy and learn uh, the basic. I would say this is basic because there are lots of master electricians out there. I salute you, uh, and I hope I contribute the basic uh, knowledge about electrical conduit, bending, and electrical installation. Thank you very much for listening and watching. Uh, Please subscribe and click the notification bell. Thank you very much. Stay safe. Avoid crowded place. You know, oh, what do you call this? Um, Congested places. Keep your distance. As a protocol, follow. Let's always follow the health and safety protocol. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.